You've tuned into The Break Room, a weekly conversation about how the city of St. Augustine works from those who do the work every day. Hosted by the City of St. Augustine's Communications Manager, Melissa Wissel, The Break Room offers a closer look at the city's programs and provides updates on current and upcoming projects. And now your host for The Break Room, Melissa Wissel.
Welcome to The Break Room. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Melissa Wissel, Communications Manager for the City of St. Augustine. Returning this week to The Break Room, I'd like to welcome back St. Augustine Fire Safety Inspector Abby Pedigo, this time to talk specifically about fire prevention. Every year, we celebrate Fire Prevention Week with a different theme pertaining to fire safety. This year's theme, Serve Up Fire Safety in the Kitchen. Abby, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
We've got a lot to talk about with Fire Prevention Week beginning this week, October 4th through the 10th. Let's talk about why this week. What's the significance of the beginning of October?
Well, every year we celebrate Fire Prevention Week around the same time, around the week of October 9th. And that is to commemorate the Great Chicago Fire, which began on October 8th of 1871. And it actually burned until October 10th of 1871. Wow. It was a huge fire, very devastating for the city of Chicago, killed more than 250 people, left 100,000 others homeless, and burned more than 17,000 structures over 3 square miles before it was finally extinguished.
That's a big fire.
Huge fire.
Huge. So that's something worth remembering.
Absolutely. From that fire came lots of fire prevention tactics and regulations and things that we still practice today.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that's part of what we do here in the city. You've got some education programs that you all implement. That's part of your job.
It is, yeah. And Fire Prevention Week, we end up celebrating Fire Prevention Week for the whole month in our department. And during that time, it's all about education. We like to reach out to the schools, to the public, and just try to educate people as much as we can on fire safety. We use this month to really reach out. And
it would seem like it's not that complicated, but yet as you probably look around and you do inspections, you look around and you see, not necessarily even violations, but just not good safety practices.
Sure. All sorts of fire hazards that people just become blind to over time. They get complacent in the buildings where they are or in their homes, and fire hazards can start to accumulate over time.
With this year's theme, we've had several themes in the past couple of years. We've done some public service announcements. We've highlighted whatever those themes are.
Right.
Tell us about this year's theme.
Yeah, this year's theme, Serve Up Fire Safety in the Kitchen, came about because the leading cause of home fires and home fire injuries is cooking.
Okay.
So can you actually guess which day of the year is responsible for the most cooking fires?
I'm going to guess it's a holiday.
It is a holiday.
Probably maybe Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah, with Christmas in close second. People are trying to multitask. They have a lot going on. Maybe they're cooking for the first time in a long time for a group, and fires can happen.
I always envision one of the PSAs that we did, the test run of the turkey in the fryer.
Yes.
That pretty much explodes the garage or whatever that.
Yes, if the turkeys aren't thawed out, you're going to get a huge fire if you try to fry a turkey.
You're not going to have a good Thanksgiving.
Exactly. We do have a video that we'll post on our social media next month showing the safety, turkey frying safety for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But one of the major leading causes of kitchen fires is unattended cooking. So we really like to emphasize staying in the kitchen if you're cooking on the stovetop, if you're broiling or sauteing or boiling anything. If you do have to leave the kitchen, it's important to set a timer so you remember the food that's on the stove.
So it's not even the timer to come back and check the food so much as it's the timer that says, hey, don't forget you walked out of the kitchen.
Exactly.
You need to come back.
Exactly. Or you still have rolls in the oven or something to remember.
Don't wait till you smell the rolls burning.
Or the smoke alarms going off.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Setting a timer is a big one. Not leaving food unattended unless you absolutely have to. Making sure you're setting that timer. Another major cause of kitchen fires is clutter around the stovetop. It's like we were talking about. People just get complacent. They get so used to their homes. They don't even realize over time that all that clutter is starting to accumulate around the stovetop. So things like pot holders, dish towels.
When you say that, for me, I envision my kitchen. And when you come in my back door into the kitchen, it's the drop zone for the mail
Right.
and tote bags and lunch
Exactly.
boxes. And now I have a ceramic top, but just ceramic is no different than a flame on a gas stove because it's still going to heat something up and burn it.
Sure. That surface is still going to get hot, and anything around that stovetop can easily catch fire or get too close to the burner. On that same note, loose clothing, people who cook with loose clothing on, a loose blouse or a sweater or scarf, that hanging down on the burner could easily catch fire. So that's another big one to help stay safe.
And I've got to think about the fire extinguisher nearby. You're supposed to have one.
Sure. Most people don't have them in the home, and you're not required to have them in the home, but they are absolutely helpful. One thing you can do if you don't have an extinguisher and you have a stovetop fire is just keep a lid nearby anytime you're cooking on the stovetop. And if you happen to get a grease fire on the stovetop, just place that lid over the pan and turn off the burner, let it sit until it's cooled down. Don't remove the lid until the fire's out and the pan is cool.
Don't open the oven door if it looks like there's something on fire.
Exactly. Same thing. Keep that oven door closed. That's going to smother the fire. It's not going to get oxygen. Turn off the oven, unplug it if you can, or shut off the breaker to it, and just wait.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Things that I don't think about.
Yes. Most people don't. You don't have to have an extinguisher to deal with those kitchen fires.
Okay. We were talking about fires and smoke detectors. So annoying in the middle of the night. You hear that chirp.
Sure.
And
Dying battery.
That's important. Don't ignore the chirp.
Very important. Don't ignore the chirp. It's important to have smoke alarms in your home. If you don't have them and you live in the city, the fire department will provide them for you and install them. I can't emphasize that enough. Smoke alarms save lives, and we will do whatever we can to help you ensure that you have working smoke alarms in your home. But those batteries should be checked monthly. There's a little button on the smoke alarm. You can press the button, make sure the alarm sounds, and make sure that battery's working like it should. And make sure everybody in the house knows what that alarm sounds like when it goes off. So if they hear it, they know that there could be a fire.
Right. We're going to take a quick second here and let our listeners know they're listening to The Break Room. I'm Melissa Whistle, Communications Manager for the City of St. Augustine. And today we've got Abby Pedigo, St. Augustine Fire Safety Inspector, in studio talking about Fire Prevention Week. So we were talking about a lot of the theme and the prevention tips. And you also mentioned going out into the schools, which we know there's been a lot of changes in 2020.
Yeah.
How has COVID continuing now to impact your outreach?
Well, things are looking different this year. Normally we do go out to the schools. We show the kids the truck and a firefighter in gear so they're familiar with what that looks like. And we discuss fire safety. This year, it's mostly virtual. We've made a little video for the students that we've sent out to the schools for them to watch, talking about our theme this year, Serve Up Fire Safety in the Kitchen. And we'll be making another video in the next week about showing a firefighter putting on gear so they can at least see what that looks like. Mm-hmm. But most of our efforts this year are virtual. And it's really unfortunate because we enjoy going out to the schools and seeing the kids. And
it's so interactive
to talk to them.
For the fire department, I would think.
Absolutely.
What are some of the program things that you are still able to do, even though it's not in person? Are you still doing your the contest?
Yes. So we are still doing the poster contest this year. That's for the city elementary schools. We choose a winner to represent first and second grades and a winner for third and fourth grades. And those posters are fire safety themed, fire prevention. We're hoping that they'll be themed for Serve Up Fire Safety in the Kitchen this year.
Okay.
And the schools nominate a winner for each grade, and then we get those posters at the fire department, and all the firefighters vote on their favorite poster.
Great.
For each grade, and the winner gets to come to the fire station and spend the day with us, and we have dinner or lunch from Chick-fil-A, and we do a little award ceremony for them. Their posters displayed in the fire station for a full year. They get a trophy and their name on a plaque.
Great.
So that's always a lot of fun, and we're happy that we still get to do that this year.
The kids get really excited about that. We were able to incorporate that one year at CPS. The winner was announced during City Government Week at an assembly. So that was a really fun tie-in of that activity with the kids.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we still are also all the time. We're always doing fire extinguisher training. Mm-hmm. If there's an organization in town who wants to train their employees on using a fire extinguisher safety, we're always doing that. We're always offering hands-only CPR classes through the department. And then this year being October, we're celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You'll see the firefighters around town in their pink shirts, and it's just to raise awareness.
Great community awareness. The department, we're really, really so blessed to have such a great department. All of our chiefs, Chief Avales and Chief Passetti and Chief Growick, having you on as our safety inspector now. It's a really wonderful organization. You guys do really great work.
Yeah.
I do want to take a minute to promote that video that you were talking about. We did post it on YouTube. So if you go out to YouTube and you search City St. Aug and pull up our channel, you'll see that fire extinguisher or the
Fire
kids,
Prevention Week.
Fire
it's
Prevention
a very
Week.
silly.
It's a fun video. It's really cute for the kids.
The kids. So if you have kids at home and you want them to learn a little bit about fire safety, it's a silly, fun one to show them.
That's a good one. And we'll also look forward to the gear video as well.
Yes, I think we're going to post that around City Government Week on our social media pages, and we'll probably get it out to the schools before that.
Okay.
So the kids can.
I would imagine that would be kind of daunting if you were in your house in a fire and you see this big, massive thing coming at you, not realizing it could be a little scary.
Especially if kids have never seen a firefighter in gear. The air tanks that we wear make a lot of noise in the mask. When you're breathing, it kind of sounds like Darth Vader. And then you're obviously geared up head to toe. All they can really see are the eyes. And it is scary for kids, even the tough kids sometimes when we do get in gear and we show them, it's a little daunting. So we just try to emphasize that firefighters are your friends and that we're there to help and not to hide from us, not to be afraid of us, to come out and let us help.
Great. And the other one piece in that in the video is talking about having that escape plan.
Yes.
Making sure that there's a plan.
That was last year's theme, that having a home escape plan. We can't emphasize that enough. Once you're testing your smoke alarms each month with your family, talk about a home escape plan, how you're going to get out, where you're going to go, where your exits are, and having a meeting place out in the yard. Where are you going to meet, and talk about not going back in once you're outside.
Make sure that everybody's safe.
Yeah.
One real quick thing, Abby, before we go, and this may get maybe something that we need to have you come back and talk to us about. We've talked about it briefly in the past, but we do have a new short-term rental program that's being launched, and you will be helping out with those short-term rental inspections.
Yes. The ordinance requires all people with short-term rentals to have a fire safety inspection to get their short-term rental registered with the city. So once they submit that registration packet and the fee, I'll be notified, or they can notify me then to receive a fire safety inspection, and we'll be going out doing those.
Great.
For people.
And any of this information can be found on the city's website at citysainaug.com and also on the fire department website, which is citysainaugfire.com. Abby, thanks so much for coming by the break room. As always, it's a pleasure having you.
Thanks again for having me.
As we wrap up another edition of The Break Room, I hope we answered your questions. If we didn't, be sure to take a minute and drop an email to info@citysainaug.com. Let me know if we missed anything or if there's someone you would like to hear from. We want to keep you informed about what's happening in and around the city, and most importantly, that you hear it here from the people doing the work and making it happen every day. In order to stay connected, you need to be connected. So be sure to like us and follow us on any of our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City St. Aug. And you can also catch the fire department on Facebook and Instagram at City St. Aug Fire. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time.
You've been listening to The Break Room, a weekly program about projects and programs offered by the City of St. Augustine. We hope you'll join us each week as host Melissa Whistle and her guests have a conversation that helps you better understand how our city works to meet the needs of our community. See you next time on The Break Room.